Gentlemen and ladies, you won't believe what's going to happen with XRP here, which is probably going to happen very soon. I just learned about the Trump administration's next big action. There have been many ups and downs recently, and naturally, XRP has recently risen back to 215 per coin after hitting some pretty terrible lows, including 161 only a few days ago. Some pretty strange stuff, however, I'm here to say I do believe that more swings will be coming soon. I really need you all to pay close attention to what I'm going to say because the Trump administration has revealed what they think will be their next course of action. With this administration, everything can change at any time, and it always has a significant impact on global markets, not just in the United States of America, but also in China, Europe, and other places. In essence, this is the current state of tariffs. We went from having no tariff exemptions to having tariff refunds dating back to April 5th to having temporary exemptions. The markets are rather perplexed by the results. Additionally, I assume that many of you who are viewing this video are also really perplexed. And for that reason, I'm filming the video today. The current state of affairs makes it very easy to get caught up in the details. Additionally, the price behavior in the markets is merely indicating that what we do know for certain, though, are some recent remarks made by the U.S. Trade Representative that give us a decent sense of the direction things are taking. According to U.S. Trade Representative Greer, President Trump does not currently have any plans to meet with Chinese President Xi. Therefore, it appears that although Trump is amenable to talks with China, he currently has no concrete plans to do so. Additionally, Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, has stated that specific tariffs on electronic goods will be implemented shortly. To put it another way, they are currently exempt from tariffs but will eventually not be entirely exempt, which is basically what they were discussing before when they discussed these exemptions. In essence, as I mentioned yesterday, the previously approved technology tariffs will now be reinstated, much to everyone's surprise. In addition, Commerce Secretary Lutnick has stated that pharmaceutical tariffs will also be implemented within the next month or two. According to him, this kind of exemption is temporary. According to him, the exemptions that were revealed this past weekend are really a short-term solution meant to give some businesses enough time to get ready for them. Once more, I oppose giving big corporations preferential treatment. Here I want the middle class and lower income groups to prevail. That, in my opinion, is the main goal of everything that is happening at the moment, and we have seen top billionaires are losing a lot of money, while American costs are really continuing to decline as inflation is being controlled. This has caused a significant transfer in wealth. In addition, the White House reports that 130 nations are now discussing new trade agreements with the U.S. 130 nations. The biggest trading partner, China, is no longer one of those nations. Nevertheless, 130 nations are saying, you know what, after this we sincerely want to have a better trade agreement with the U.S. Our eyes have been opened by reciprocal tariffs, and we now realize that our treatment of the U.S. may not be just, to be honest, a small taste of their own medicine. That's fantastic. Trump is essentially opening the door for a new agreement to replace China by imposing these tariffs. I believe that to be the case in this instance. Compared to 30 to 40 years ago, China's economy is today more self-sufficient. They are capable of producing in large quantities, and Trump is essentially saying, you know what, calling their bluff. I believe that we are more in need of you than you are of us. You guys can work things out on your own. We're going to export our production to India and a few other African nations. Then, as China's economy is currently entirely dependent on exports, it will take a long time to reconstruct. They are, after all, utterly obsessed with exports at the moment, and this will have significant effects, isn't it? This will continue to have significant effects. As time goes on, it becomes increasingly clear that Trump wishes to disassociate himself from China. In essence, this means that more manufacturing jobs and industry will be able to return to the United States of America, and there is enough of land available for the U.S. to establish all of these new manufacturing bases. Apple and all of these large companies, yes, it will take some time, but they have the blueprints for how to construct these factories. Although it will take a few years before the United States can fully replace China, it will benefit Americans in the long run because it will increase employment and, of course, put more money in the pockets of Americans. It will also, of course, raise the value of the US dollar, which is Trump's long-term objective here. He's doing things in a very logical way, irrespective of whether you support or oppose tariffs. Your currency will lose value if you have trade deficits. That's merely fundamental economics. Trump is therefore making every effort to prevent that. Though I don't think he truly wants to, I do believe Trump will state that he wants to deal with China. because he understands that the US will keep devaluing its currency and the Chinese economy will continue to grow more quickly than the US as long as China continues to produce as much as it does currently. Therefore, this is the most effective strategy to address all of these issues at once. Each and every one of you must keep that in mind. Regardless of your stance on these political groups, it appears that this is how the next 3 to 4 years will unfold. In the event that the Republicans are re-elected, it might be for a further 4 years. Without a doubt, they will continue down this rabbit hole. Therefore, it is crucial to remember that, indeed, this will have a significant effect on cryptocurrency, which we will discuss shortly. We're also stating that Lutnick, the Secretary of Commerce, says he has every confidence that President Trump and China will negotiate a new trade agreement, correct? They then swing from stating that they are not really in contact with China at the moment, to stating that they are quite certain that they will negotiate a new trade agreement. Yes, this new trade agreement will result in more American exports and fewer imports from China. That's the main goal here. Since they don't really have many options if they want to expand their economy, the United States won't give in on this. You must therefore be ready for that. Having said that, there is a lot of exciting news in the cryptocurrency industry right now. I would like to present this video for you all, in which Senator Tim Scott expresses his strong belief that the bill pertaining to the structure of the cryptocurrency market will soon be passed into law. And since it will undoubtedly have an effect, we will discuss what this means directly for XRP. Pay attention, Kinsler at the SEC simply dislike cryptocurrency. I've stated this a lot, innovation must come before regulation. This means that American economic superiority in the world depends on enabling innovation in the digital asset field to occur domestically. The good news is that President Trump is spearheading the revolution in cryptocurrency, beginning at you heard that right, August. All right, that is really amazing, and I must admit, really thrilling. In essence, this framework and bill on crypto market structure are basically giving us the legislative certainty we so much need. The Senate is now considering passing a number of proposals that have been brought to its notice. Trump has put a number of executive orders into law, of course, but this one will have a significant impact on the cryptocurrency sector. The crypto market structure bill is likely the most crucial factor in enabling Ripple and XRP to serve as these banks' auto-bridge assets. These big organizations wish to offer liquidity solutions or cross-border payments to the banking sector, as well as, of course, clients who wish to transfer money abroad. That is simply amazing. That's just what we need in this situation. Having said that, I know that many of you are probably wondering what will happen when we look at the price of XRP, because so many different things are happening. I mean, we have some really exciting stuff in August. It's extremely uncertain at the moment. What will take place? And if we use prior examples as a guide and examine the 15-minute charts, we can see that there are clearly significant swings. We will experience extremely insane single-day losses when we lose a lot of money over the course of a single day. And shortly after that, we immediately get back up. We're currently sitting at a rather stable price, you know? In fact, at one point during the night, we touched 222. However, there is one item in particular that I must bring up here. And you can see that we are in an overbought zone if you simply scroll in here and check at the stochastic RSI. Here's the deal then. A significant move to the downside is likely to occur whenever the stochastic daily RSI, the one-day chart, is in an overbought zone, and there is possibly bearish news present. This is because a relatively small amount of selling pressure will result in a significant amount of negative price action. As a result, we are currently regarded as overbought, and our support lines are somewhat low in comparison to where they were previously. There are two short-term negative signs. What I'm thinking is that while it's possible that we may move higher from where we are currently, I believe that we will see some very erratic moves to the downside over the course of the next 3 to 4 days. We will discover several bottoms, and it will be a fantastic chance to repurchase XRP below $2, which excites me personally. Since that is where all of the money is produced, I am actually more looking forward to the red and green days. All I'm really doing is waiting for these opportunities, and I'll be sharing all of this information with crypto crusaders at the precise moment I purchase, sell, trade, use futures, and do other things. Therefore, I would like to extend an invitation to everyone viewing this video to participate for free by utilizing the internet URL provided in the description below. A simple 3-step procedure. Simply click on the links on my website to sign up for one of our partner exchanges, deposit at least $100, and follow our video guide to complete the process. and then simply fill out this form with your email address and user ID to gain access to our Telegram and Discord. It's actually that simple, and many people's lives have already been transformed by it. I also desire to alter yours. In order to avoid missing any trades, be sure to participate. I will see you all very soon. We just closed one that was 65% up. I love you all very much. Goodbye.